You probably need to adjust your camera a little bit. It's probably a bit too far down facing. A little higher? Yeah, around about there. Okay.
A little higher.
Are you recording? Yep, you are. Am I recording?
You are.
That was a fairly pleasant coffee.
Every coffee has pretty much been pleasant in Vietnam thus far.
Absolutely. I have a question for you.
Sure.
Since we're about to embark back to our hotel right in the heart of this lovely city. And I don't really know the direction, so we're going to just ride around in a general direction and figure it out.
General direction?
Yes, reporting. You're American.
I am. Guilty as charged.
Yeah. And well, I'm a whatever they call it here, but I'm a foreigner here too, with a white skin. And it wasn't that long ago that there was a lot of crap going on here, and basically these guys were your enemy, and you were their enemy, and you were dropping Agent Orange on them and stuff. And Agent Orange is not a refreshing beverage. Fruit juice, by the way.
It's also not an orange skin spy.
No, it's not. Okay. So, I mean, there's a lot of crap going on. However, I have not felt a single bit of animosity since we've been here. And I'm quite surprised because in China, people that watch my videos, they'll notice that I often put those little exclamation marks above evil uncles. Have a hell of a lot of time for anything else. Now, evil uncles are like the remnants of the Red Guard that are left over. They still remember when, basically they were part of this whole big communist bloc, and people like America and foreigners were the enemy.
Right.
And so they look at you suspiciously, make you feel uncomfortable. If you're there with a camera, they'll report you to the local police type thing.
我真的不会录自己。我录自己可以，不要到随到别的地方拍。我什么？那个草不能拍，这个树不能拍。没有，我们是私家花园，好吧？这里有人吗？你干嘛呢？你告诉我为什么？这个规定是为什么呢？懂你走吧，不要拍了，真的不要拍了。Okay. 你拍得到。So you see, this guy says I'm not allowed to film either. 喂，你都买照相的？什么？不可以照相？什么？这里不允许照相。什么？这个？为什么呢？你告诉我为什么？这是中国的政策。这是公开的地方。不是公开的。如果用我的手机可以吗？是不是一样的？也不可以。你是谁啊？用手机。你是谁啊？你不要问谁啊！你不要问谁。我不要问谁，你不要来跟我说话，好不好？啊，这是我自己要拍我自己的照片，是不是？我不拍你。如果我拍你，你可以说，但是我不拍你，是不是？是不是？三口。Thank you.
The younger Chinese people are fine, but it's that generation. The thing is, you get that same generation here, but I haven't noticed that animosity,
Right.
And suspicion. So maybe we could hop on the bikes and talk about that.
I'm going to give you my little take on that when we start riding.
Yeah, well, I can't get out, so you're going to have to...
He said go this way.
Oh, yeah, okay, I guess so. All right, I'll go that way. Let's do it. Yeah, we're good. Let's cruise. Okay. Animosity, here we come.
So, one thing I thought was interesting, the way you phrased the intro to that.
Yeah.
Something that I think we've picked up from China, actually, was your wording.
Which is?
You said about 40 years ago, there was some bad shit happening here.
Yeah.
These guys were your enemy, you were dropping Agent Orange on them, and they were killing your people, right?
Yes.
Now, I wasn't alive.
Yeah.
So it wasn't me that did that. But in the eyes of Chinese people, everything that's happened in the past is them. It is ours. It is you. They use these pronouns and possessive pronouns and stuff to exacerbate past problems or drum up support for historical events.
Correct.
Like a team-based collective attitude, right?
Wow, didn't that just go to shit in a minute? Sorry.
Literally shit in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I feel like that could be a song. Okay, so we are also in a collectivist, communist, socialist East Asian country.
Yeah.
The country of Vietnam. Particularly up north here, it shares a lot of Chinese values and Chinese traditional customs, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So why would I go around China and hear you Americans, our China, you threatened us, you hurt us, we are good, Japan is bad, blah, blah, blah. Why, when I go around here, do I not hear any of that stuff? And why do people not act with suspicion towards me? Well, it's very simple. Look at this. Vietnam and Japan.
That's very odd. Anyway.
So why is that the situation here? Well, because why does Vietnam have such good close friends and relationships with everyone, and they don't act like assholes to the rest of the world? It's because of their leadership, and it's kind of interesting.
Right.
The leadership under Xi Jinping, Chairman Mao, even Hu Jintao and all this stuff has always promoted this collectivist idea that us Chinese are always getting shit on by the rest of the world.
Yeah, those 200 years of humiliation.
Right.
Although that keeps changing, because first it's 100 years, now it's like a century, now it's 200. It's
well, just like 5,000 years of history changed to 8,000 now.
Yeah, it's just they fudge the numbers. Yeah. But yeah.
Anyway, Vietnam, on the other hand, had a leader, Ho Chi Minh, also a communist, and probably has a very negative opinion. I mean, like veterans in America would have a negative opinion of them because of what happened in the Vietnam War. But during the Vietnam War, I'm going to paraphrase some quotes.
Okay.
He said, listen, if Americans want to fight here for 20 years, we'll give them a 20-year war. As soon as they just want to let us go and leave, we'll sit down and have tea with them. Right?
Okay.
He also was quoted in saying that afterwards, after the war, we need to focus on rebuilding, we need to focus on making friends, and we need to focus on our issues here, not to blame the aggressors in our own country, right?
Right.
Which is literally the polar opposite of every Chinese leadership.
There's something else that he said as well.
Yeah.
And that is that we shouldn't blame the citizens of America.
Right.
We should blame their leaders.
Right. Right.
And that makes total sense.
Sure.
And I feel the same way about China, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
The problems China faces, the real problems, the ones that actually really upset me and that I talk about, it's not Chinese people that are doing it. It's not the citizens of China that I blame. It's literally just the batshit crazy government.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Does it make sense?
It does make a ton of sense.
Yeah.
So I guess when you started this topic, I felt a lot of China influence on that phrase, and I know you did it on purpose. But it's just because that's the language, that's the feeling in the air in China, and that's what keeps that whole hatred and superiority / victim mentality going very strongly in China.
Yeah.
And that's why countries like, a place like Vietnam that very recently had a very bitter war with America is so quick to just kind of say, listen, that sucked. That was really traumatizing.
Sure.
Let's sort our shit out and start making some friends, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a really interesting comparison to make, because it looks like China, but the mentality around us is not negative.
Correct.
Anything else that you have there?
I just want to say that there are going to be some people in the comments that will point out the fact that we haven't been here long enough to really get a very deep insight into the culture.
Sure.
Right? But I also have to point out straight away that within the first couple of weeks of me being in China, I did find animosity towards me, suspicion and animosity, and like the police pitching up to see what I was doing in the hotel, things like that did happen, like literally happened straight away.
And filming and using cameras and stuff. No one has batted an eyelid here.
No, we've been filming, we've been out, we've been having a great time here. And I haven't seen that sort of animosity, and that's really what I wanted to point out. And I fully expected that there would be animosity.
Sure.
I mean, think about it. Literally, back in the 70s and the 60s, there was all this crap going on here. And it's very clearly defined who was fighting who,
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. It wasn't like...
It was the free world versus communism,
know? and it was American troops being dropped off here and killing and being killed and whatnot. And it's kind of just been water under the bridge now. They buried the hatchet. Let's move on. You know, I think it's smart.
Yeah, absolutely. And mature.
You know, it may also not be 100% genuine. It's hard to tell.
Sure.
But I would like to quickly touch on a little thing before we finish, and that is Deng Xiaoping.
Sure.
Deng Xiaoping had a very famous saying. It was like, hide our strengths and bide our time. Okay? Which is was the Chinese way of just like, look, let the rest of the world think that we're just kind of poor, useless people, but we're building up, we're getting stronger, and then when the time is right, you know, then we'll be able to assert ourselves on the world stage. It's pretty much what happened, but unfortunately the new leadership didn't wait long enough. And that's a topic for our next one that we're going to talk about, is how the current leadership has really damaged China's international image by not biding its time and jumping the gun.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so anyway, is there anything you'd like to tell our subscribers before we sign off?
I know it's a very sensitive little issue, especially for people that were involved on both sides of the war.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I just really, it's kind of a lovely idea that people are able to get over this, because there is no sense in living in hatred from the past. And before anyone says, you didn't go through that, I know I didn't. And I'm super happy I didn't have to, because that was a terrible, terrible time to be alive if you were fighting in Vietnam at the time. It was traumatizing, and I appreciate everyone that did it for my country, you know. At the same time, it's also a beautiful thing to see people just kind of being mature and getting over this, saying, you know what, it's not the people that did that. It was the times, right?
Yeah, I get very annoyed with this particular sort of situation, because you know how it is. People are always blaming me for apartheid, as if I'm some kind of racist that sat down and wrote in the rules and benefited. And I keep getting that in my comments section all the time. It's like, oh yeah, maybe you weren't alive during apartheid times, but you benefited from it. You know, it's like as if your parents stole a bicycle and then gave it to you, and now you've got a bicycle, but it doesn't belong to you. Well, how about this? Imagine your parents gave you a broken bicycle that doesn't work, that you can't ride, that you didn't want, you've got nothing to do with, and it's never helped you ever, and you get people raping and killing you because your parents gave you a pile of trash.
Right.
That doesn't work for me.
That's a good analogy.
You know what does work for me? is when people work together. You know? And stop bitching and moaning about what's what and what's not fair and what's fair and who did what, and you know what I mean? And just like the traffic kind of flows, I hope that ideas can flow freely and in your face. And like that sad bear sitting over there. I just hope that people can stop bitching and moaning and actually work together, and that's what I like about here, is I can see that is the case.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So anyway, that's it. If you guys are a bitcher and a moaner, or you're a problem solver, either way, we do love you. Even the bitches and moaners, we just think you're dumb.
Right.
And until next time, you know the drill. As always, stay awesome. ADV China every Monday, same time, same place. Wednesdays, Lao 86, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, on Friday, just in time for a beer, Serpent ZA.